Divine Rising, everybody. Give me just a moment and we're gonna get this live started here in just a bit. I just gotta do a couple of things. What I normally do every morning. Let me post this comment here in the let's make sure everything is live on all the platforms. So I appreciate you all tuning in with me on this morning. Let's see, it is, yes, it's live on YouTube. Let me go to my profile. I am live here, I think. Let me see. I don't see it yet. Yeah, I am. There I am. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. Pin this comment real quick. And let's see. Let me check this profile too. Make sure I'm live there. And I'm gonna have to pull it up on my phone so I can actually see the comments. Because for whatever, I'm gonna have to probably get with my people on my platform because for whatever reason the comments are not showing up on the chat and they're supposed to over here where I'm at. But here there, it's supposed to be there. Anywho, let me get back focused. Focus. Hope y'all having a divine morning. I'm having a beautiful morning myself. I am live over here. Y'all hear me talking? All right. Yeah. Okay, and let me I'm live here, so let me go ahead and post this over here as well. I wish just automatically do this, but it doesn't, so I have to manually do it. In any event, let's see. Now it is Friday. They say Friday, but Friday. It's a Friday for me every day. Because I get to do this every day if I choose to. There's no pressure. I don't pressure myself to do anything I don't want to do. But like I said, I intentionally do this. It's intentional for me. All right. Uh-oh. Okay, now let me share the to my story. And let's share from over here. See, it's posting, y'all. It's posting. But anyway, let me go ahead and bring this on over here so I can see the comments. Let me pause that as well over here. I mean, mute, not pause. Come on. There we go. All right. So I should be able to see the comments on each one of these. But anyway, Divine Rising, everybody. I am Shakitha. I am the CEO and founder of Quiet Queens Academy, Shakitha and Me No Secrets, and the LA Health Coach. And I am always grateful to be able to wake up every single morning and get on my call in the morning to do what I do every day, make, connections, communicating better. You name it, I'm doing it, and I get to do it. It's not a pressure. It's not pressure, and there's no force there. I just get up and I do it, and it's with all intention. So again, divine rising to you, queens, quiet queens, and let's get into this topic here. Let's get into the topic. So, our topic on this morning is the environment you build. Let me say that again because I'm saying it slow. The environment you build in shapes how you move. So, that is going to be the topic for this morning. And this is going to be a conversation for women who have been trying to build online while feeling pressured, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their natural rhythm. So today, we're talking about environment, clarity, emotional regulation, and why where you build. I always get tongue tied saying this. Why where you build affects. Why where you build affects how consistently you move, and it's not where, it's WHERE, where. Why where you build, it's a tongue twister. Why where you build affects how consistently you move. All right, so again, like I said, divine rising to you, everybody, kings, queens. So let's get into it. So something I've been sitting with this morning, and yes, I this morning been sitting with this morning. And before I get in, so if you are tuning in with me, let me know where you're tuning in from. Um, and so I can give you a shout out. And I appreciate you being here. And if you want to tap in on the conversation, by all means, do so. It's better when we all talking together, right? But there's no pressure, no force. But like I said, this is a calm conversation. So let's get into it. And like I said, something I've been thinking about and sitting with this morning is how much the environment you build in shapes how you move. Because sometimes women think they're inconsistent when really they've been trying to grow inside environments that keep creating pressure to move fast, pressure to sound louder, pressure to show up a certain way, pressure to keep moving, proving they're serious. And after a while, that starts affecting how you see yourself. And we talked about that on yesterday as well. So let's get into the points. And as always, I'm going to have 5 points that I'm going to tap into. And the first one is environment shapes identity. And I think environment quietly teaches people how they they think they have to become. And if the environment is loud, you start thinking you need to be louder. And if the environment is rushed, you start thinking you're behind. And if the environment is built on pressure, you start confusing pressure with leadership. But building should not make you feel disconnected from yourself. So we got to go back within ourselves. We have to stay within ourselves because everything around us doesn't mean, it doesn't really define who we are. And so we're talking about identity. You have to know who you are inside of every environment that you go into because you can be pressured to do things a certain way, which that disrupts your nervous system and it breaks, which will be the next thing that I'll be going into the next point, but it breaks clarity. Pressure breaks clarity. It breaks how clear you have already been about where you want to go and what you want to do. And now that you have this pressure is on you, then you're not very clear at what you're doing, right? You're not very clear about what you're doing. So, but let's go ahead and dive into that point. And if you have anything that you would like to add on that point, environment shapes identity. Let me know what your perspective is, because at the end of the day, whatever your perspective is, it's going to be right. I mean, just like my perspective. I mean, but that is a personal perspective. It's not a perspective for everyone, but what is your perspective on that? Environment shapes identity. Okay, let's get into the second point here. Pressure breaks clarity. And when there's too much pressure, clarity gets harder to hear. All right, it gets harder to hear, it gets harder to see. And for introvert women, especially, that matters, because a lot of quieter women are not hesitant. They're observant, they're processing, they're trying to understand before they move. But in the wrong environment, that gets mistaken for delay. And let's be clear, no one's delayed. Everybody is on their own timeline. They're going to move in the time that they're supposed to move. We're not all going to move at the same time. I mean, because we're all on different timelines. So just remember that pressure breaks clarity in the wrong environments, and it does get mistaken as delay. I mean, it gets mistaken as, okay, you're not serious about your business, or you're not moving because you're not moving like the next person. But the thing is, no, that's not it. Everybody's gonna move in their own time, in their own timeline, as they should. So I would say, take your time. Don't allow pressure to break how clear you're hearing or how clear that you're seeing. All right. Let's dive into the next point, because I'm not going to be here long this morning. Not going to be here long this morning. So, calm structure creates different movement. So, when structure is calm, movement feels different. You're not forcing, you're not performing, you're not chasing I mean, not every single, but every signal. You're moving from understanding. And that's where consistency starts to become more natural. Not because you suddenly become someone else, but because the environment finally support how you actually build. And so that's what I created for myself. You know, the calm structure that creates a different movement. So I'm moving completely different than anyone else you know, that's in our organization. So I mean, and that's the place that I had to find. I'm not saying the way that anyone else is moving is incorrect, because people move how they move that feels natural for them, or that's the best movement for them. So I'm not saying, so let me get this clear. Let me say this clearly, that I'm not saying how other people are moving is incorrect, but I'm speaking to that introvert woman who feels, pressured in all that I spoke about earlier before getting into my points. So, I mean, but you have to move the way that you have to move, that's going to fit who you are, not becoming someone else, because we're all different. And like I said, we all have different timelines, and we're not going to move all the same. I don't know why I keep doing it. So, let's tap into why Quiet Queens Academy exists. That's one of the reasons I created Quiet Queens Academy, not to create another noisy space, but to create a clear environment, a space where women can understand structure, move with posture, not purpose, but I mean posture, purpose, move with posture, have calmer conversations, and build without feeling like they have to perform their way into success. Because alignment matters, environment matters, and peace mentally matters too. I mean, and I'm telling you, when we talk about keeping our system regulated, I mean, peace is a great big portion of that. So let's tap into the 15. So inside the community, no, excuse me, inside Quiet Queens Academy's community, I've been organizing free training sound around the areas of what I see women typically having challenges with the most. And so one of those trainings is stop chasing, the posture shift, calm conversations that convert, the business model explained, because once women understand the structure behind movement, they stop reacting to pressure and start moving with more clarity. And so, and I can tell you right now, when I changed how I started conversating, I stopped chasing. I mean, my posture shift. I mean, and so I'm moving in a way that makes sense for me. Hey, Kimberly, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. You don't have to tell me where you're from. I know where you're from, but thank you. But like I said, if you missed it, if you missed it, you can go back and watch this live because I'm about to close it out. But again, thank you all for stopping by and supporting the live. And if you find clarity, you find value in what you're hearing, just share it out with someone. And let me let you know we're actually talking about the environments you build and shapes how you move. So that is what I am and what we are chatting about on this morning. Hey, hey, hey. So so my final closing here is I just wanted to share this on this morning because sometimes it's not that you can't build. Sometimes the environment you've been in or you've been trying to build in has not supported the way you naturally move. And when that shifts, everything starts to feel different. And so, again, if you would like to join the community, it is quietqueensacademy.com/community. It is outside of Facebook, but it is in the comments if you would like to join that community. Um, Happy to have you there. Also, we do have a Facebook group called Quiet Queens Build Teams, Building Teams, and I do have the Quiet Queens Academy Facebook group. I have not yet started uh, building anything inside of it is as of yet, but that will be later to come. I like I said, I don't want to overwhelm myself with a lot of stuff, so I do things at a slower pace because I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a rush. I mean, it's not about urgency. It's not about any of those things, and I definitely don't want to, pressure myself into moving faster or anything of that nature. So, but anyway, like I said, thank you all for stopping by. I will be back on tomorrow. Now, like I said, let me say this. Let me restate this. My goal is to be back on tomorrow. Um, with I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to talk about, but I'll have that created here later on today. Probably right after I get off this call. But um, but yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. And like I always say, everything I do is intentional. Um, and what I'm talking about because that's my focus is not to be is to speak to the people who we who resonate or who I resonate with um in the industry, in building, in any business. I mean, if you have one. So, and I like to, you know, talk about it, right? How we move, how we do things, and how being in certain environments can cause us to be in a place that, that's not in alignment with where we want to go or how we're feeling. But in any event, I'm not going to keep rambling. I'm going to get off here. Y'all have a divine day. Talk to you soon. Love and light to you.